The co-feature on the stakes-laden card on Saturday at Parx is the $1 million Grade 1 Cotillion 4 3-year-old fillies at a mile and a 16th. And James Scully joining me once again to chat about this $1 million event. No doubt this race goes through Secret Oath, who will be happy not to see Ness this time around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ness was just a complete beast in those races, the Coaching Club American Oaks in Alabama at Saratoga. I got a little bit of concern, though, about still Secret Oath, just the way she finished, and in the Coaching Club American Oaks. She just held second because nobody else ran a step, from the top of the stretch. She was out of gas bad. And then even in that Alabama, she's weaving all over the place. I got a little bit of concern as she is as sharp as she was earlier this year, Scott. Obviously she runs back to Kentucky Oaks performance. She'll be tough to beat, but I think she's vulnerable from off the pace at short odds on Saturday.
She looks to give D. Wayne Lucas his first win in the Cotillion. He's won a few stakes races other than the Cotillion, a few big ones in his own right, including that aforementioned Kentucky Oaks, James. And yeah, that Coaching Club American Oaks was obviously extremely underwhelming. I thought she bounced back nicely at Saratoga in the Alabama, but that was a mile and a quarter, maybe a mile and a 16th, we could argue, isn't her best distance. And I expect her to get hammered at the windows in here. She's 2-1 on the morning line, the clear class of the field, but she'll have some work to do. And I don't know if I'm willing to swallow the short price. It sounds like you are not personally either. How do you see the race shaping up here in terms of pace?
Well, I think that Society is definitely going to show speed from her outside post, that she's in there, and that just has to go early. I think, that you're going to have a couple of fillies that are going to look to just sit behind her, including Gerrymander, going to be up there close. You have a couple of long shots in here like Beach Days and Green Up, I thought, from the rail. It's definitely going to show some speed for Pletcher. So it could be a little bit of a contentious pace. I think it will be pretty solid, though, with Society winging it from the outside.
Yeah, without question, Society with Florent Giroux taking the call for the first time, very likely to be the front runner in here. Green Up, who you mentioned, had been on the lead throughout her previous races, but ran really well from off the pace, relaxed nicely in the Catherine Sophia, beating Interstate Daydream, who beat Adair Manor in the Black Eyed Susan. Adair Manor, a little bit of an interesting horse in here, probably going to take some money for Bob Baffert. His horses usually do. Where do you stand on Adair Manor? The $375,000 daughter of Uncle Mo.
Well, I give her credit for that Black Eyed Susan because I really thought those races, the Las Virgenes and the San Antonio Oaks, were weak races. Now obviously Desert Dawn upset Adair Manor and came back and ran third in the Kentucky Oaks. So I was a little bit wrong about her, but I still had some questions about her overall, just class in a sense. And while she outperformed her, my expectations in the Black Eyed Susan, I still don't think, outside the top two, Interstate Daydreams and Adair Manor, there was much in that race. And I'm just a little bit concerned. I mean, you coming back off a 4-month layoff here in this spot, I'd like to see more races from her. And I think clearly she's going to be overbet, being Bob Baffert and Mike Smith. I mean, she's 7-2 on the morning line. I think she could be the second choice in the wagering behind Secret Oath and lower than 7-2.
I agree. 2 wins, 3 seconds, 6 starts. Probably going to look a little better on the page than I think those races were in actuality. I'm totally with you here. I wouldn't be shocked, obviously if she ran well, but at the price I expect her to be, I'm going to play against. The horse that you like is number 5, Gerrymander, who tried 2 turns for just the first time in the Alabama, and it didn't go very well. Now, clearly you could make the argument that she was exposed against high quality competition, or like you're going to argue that she's going to bounce back. Why is that?
Because I just think that I thought that was a good experience to get a 2-turn race, but she had no chance at 10 furlongs. I think a Gerrymander is a mile and a 16th or her perfect distance. I really see her, and there's a commonality because they're both by End of Mischief. She reminds me of Search Results a little bit. That's a real classy filly that to me could get a mile and an 1/8 or at least run well on occasion at that distance. But a mile and a 16th, a better fit. I don't think the 2 turns will be any trouble at that trip. And I just expect to see a really good trip from post 5 with Joelle Rosario. I hope she can get up there, sit second, third, fourth, and be in a position position to get the run really on the closers in this field, turn it for home. I loved her effort in the Mother Goose at the mile and a 16th, even though it was a one-turn distance. That was a really sharp turn of foot. I thought on the far turn of Belmont that day to take a clear lead. I thought that race was better than it looks on paper, and she got a 104 Bristnet speed rating. So I just think the cutback in distance, second two-turn start is going to hit her, is going to set her up for a top effort.
Joel Rosario jumps back aboard. It was Flavian Pratt aboard in the Alabama. Rosario's been on her for 2 of her 3 career victories. Good thing with him is even if she breaks on top, he's not going to be over aggressive. In fact, maybe under aggressive. Hopefully that won't work to his disadvantage for you in here. I'm going to land on number 7, Shahama in here, 8-1 on the morning line. Did get handled quite easily by Gerrymander, but that was at one turn in the Mother Goose. I think she's a clear 2-turn horse, even though she's just the daughter of Munnings. Ran pretty well in the Kentucky Oaks in her first start in the States and first start off a little bit of a freshening for Todd Pletcher. Didn't figure out the gate issues that day. That kind of plagued her a little bit when she was overseas. Ran on a little bit, kind of split the field that day, 6-14. I really liked her effort last time out in the Monmouth Oaks, James, where she showed a new dimension, sitting just off the pace, going 2 turns that day. I expect her to get a similar voyage in this spot under jockey Flavian Pratt. And I think the mile and a 16th, 2 turns is right up her alley. Hopefully we'll get close to 8-1. Todd Pletcher with 3 horses in this race. Talked about Green Up. I just talked about Shahama. Goddess of Fire is the other one. You give her any chance?
I give her a chance to hit the board. I liked her effort 2 back in that state bred effort. I just thought it was a solid performance coming off the Kentucky Oaks and then coming back in the running third in Alabama. Those are 2 good setup races, but no, not to win. I just don't think she'll be fast enough. I do like your pick of Shahama, and I'll tell you, when she won that UAE Oaks back in mid-February, they were saying in Dubai that she would be the favorite for the UAE Derby. So to me, she hadn't run back to those races in Dubai until that Monmouth Oaks. Now, granted, she only beat 4 horses. She's going to get tested by a little bit tougher company here, but that is a good pick because at 8-1 on the morning line, anything around that price, you're getting a little value off of a good win.
Yeah, I mean, Secret Oath, going to get over bet, definitely the likeliest winner, but the concerns I have, I agree with you. In Adair Manor, I think also going to get over bet. So both of us looking to price options, probably middle tier type horses in this year's Cotillion. Gerrymander, Chad Brown for James Scully, Shahama, Todd Pletcher, Flavian Pratt for me. Remember to get involved at TwinSpires and best of luck on the awesome card at Parx on Saturday afternoon.